The Second Age of Middle-earth, a period shrouded in both glory and tragedy, offers a rich tapestry of events that ultimately shape the landscape and the fate of the Third Age, the era familiar to the fans of The Lord of the Rings. Central to this age is the rise and catastrophic fall of Numenor, an island kingdom blessed with prosperity, longevity and wisdom. Understanding the details of Numenor's descent into darkness is crucial to appreciating the depth and complexity of Tolkien's world. This video will delve into the intricacies of Numenor's history, exploring the key figures, the pivotal events, and the underlying themes that led to its ultimate destruction. Greetings all, I'm your guide the Archivist. Today I will look at the fall of Numenor. Before we begin, please remember to like the like and subscribe waystones down below, so that more people can learn from the archives. Following the War of Wrath, which saw the defeat of Morgoth and the sinking of Beleriand, the Valar granted the Edain, the ancestors of man who had allied with the Elves, the island of Numenor as a reward for their loyalty. Rising from the Great Sea, Numenor, known as Elena, was a paradise of unparalleled beauty and abundance. The Edain, now known as the Dunedain, men of the West, were blessed with lifespans far exceeding those of ordinary men, and their kingdoms quickly flourished. Their first king, Elros Tar Miniatur, the brother of Elrond, chose mortality, embracing the destiny of men. He ruled wisely, establishing a culture that revered the Valar and maintained a close bond with the elves, particularly those of Tol Eressëa, a nearby island inhabited by elves. The Dunedain became skilled mariners, explorers and artisans, their power and influence growing steadily across Middle-earth. They were protectors of men and allies to the elves, a beacon of hope in a world still recovering from the shadow of Morgoth. However, even in this golden age, the seeds of Numenor's downfall were subtly sown. The very gift of extended life, while a blessing, also became a source of anxiety. The Dunedain, witnessing the undying nature of the elves and hearing tales of the immortal Valar, began to fear death, the gift of Ilúvatar as the elves call it. This fear, initially a subtle unease, would fester and grow into a consuming obsession. Over the centuries, the relationship between Numenor and the elves began to fray. While the early kings maintained their humility and fidelity to the Valar, their successors gradually succumbed to the pride and a thirst for greater power. The Dunedain, accustomed to their long lives and their dominance over other men, began to resent the limitations placed upon them. The ban of the Valar, which forbade them from sailing west to Valinor, the Undying Lands, became a source of increasing frustration. This simmering discontent was further fueled by the whispers of Sauron, who had survived the downfall of Morgoth and was slowly rebuilding his power in Middle-earth. He witnessed the growing strength of the Númenóreans and recognized the potential threat it posed to his plans. Sauron knew that direct confrontation was unwise. Instead, he chose a more insidious approach, manipulating the Dunedain from afar, fostering their pride and exploiting their fear of death. As Numenor's power expanded, its focus shifted from protecting Middle-earth to exploiting its resources. They established colonies along the coasts, ostensibly to bring order and civilization to the lesser men. However, these colonies often became centers of oppression and exploitation, fueled by a growing desire for wealth and dominance. Trade turned into tribute, and the Dunedain began to view themselves as superior to all other races. The turning point in Numenor's history came with the reign of Al-Pharazôn the Golden. A powerful and ambitious king, he seized the throne through force, deposing the rightful heir and ushering in an era of unprecedented arrogance and aggression. Al-Pharazôn, driven by a lust for power and a desperate desire to escape death, openly defied the Valar and challenged Sauron's growing influence in Middle-earth. In a bold move, Al-Pharazôn mustered a massive fleet and sailed to Middle-earth, intending to conquer Sauron's realm. Faced with the overwhelming might of Numenor, Sauron shrewdly surrendered, allowing himself to be taken as a prisoner back to Numenor. This was a pivotal moment where Sauron's devious plan began to take shape. Once on Numenor, Sauron, using his cunning and persuasive skills, quickly rose to become Al-Pharazôn's most trusted advisor. He subtly poisoned the king's mind, whispering doubts about the Valar and extolling the virtues of Morgoth, whom he portrayed as a liberator who sought to free mankind from the tyranny of the gods. He convinced Ar-Pharazôn that immortality could be achieved not through humility and obedience to the Valar, but through defiance and the worship of the dark powers. Sauron's influence permeated every aspect of Numenor society. The worship of the Valar was outlawed, and the White Tree, a symbol of their allegiance, was felled. Temples to Morgoth were erected, and human sacrifice became common. The faithful, those who remained loyal to the Valar and maintained their friendship with the elves, were persecuted and driven into hiding. Finally, driven by Sauron's promises of eternal life, Ar-Pharazôn, in a moment of ultimate hubris, decided to break the ban of the Valar and sail west to Valinor, seeking to claim immortality by force. With a vast fleet, he sailed to the Undying Lands, believing he could conquer even the Valar. This act of defiance was the final straw. Ilúvatar, the Supreme Creator, intervened directly. The world was reshaped and Valinor was removed from the world, becoming accessible only to the elves. The sea rose up, engulfing Ar-Pharazôn and his entire fleet, burying them beneath the waves. Numenor itself was utterly destroyed, sinking beneath the Great Sea, erasing the once proud kingdom from the face of Middle-earth. Only a few Dunedain escaped the cataclysm, led by Elendil and his sons Isildur and Anarion. They sailed east in 9 ships, carrying with them the Palantiri and the seedling for the White Tree. They landed in Middle-earth and established the kingdoms of Gondor and Arnor, carrying on the legacy of Numenor, albeit in a diminished form. The fall of Numenor serves as a powerful cautionary tale about the dangers of pride, the corrupting influence of power, and the consequences of defying the natural order. It highlights the importance of humility, wisdom, and faithfulness in the face of temptation. The echoes of Numenor's downfall resonate throughout the Third Age. The descendants of the Dunedain, the kings of Gondor and Arnor, carried the burden of their ancestors' mistakes, constantly battling the forces of Sauron, who had escaped the destruction of Numenor and returned to Middle-earth to continue his quest for domination. The story of Aragorn, the rightful heir to the throne of Gondor and the descendant of Isildur, is ultimately a story of redemption. He embodies the virtues that Numenor had lost: humility, courage, and a willingness to sacrifice for the greater good. By embracing his destiny and uniting the free peoples of Middle-earth against Sauron, Aragorn ultimately restored the glory of the Dunedain and ushered in a new age of peace and prosperity. In conclusion, the details surrounding the fall of Numenor are a critical element in understanding the larger narrative of The Lord of the Rings. It is a tragic story of a great civilization undone by its own flaws, a reminder that even the most powerful kingdoms can succumb to pride and the lure of forbidden knowledge. The legacy of Numenor continues to shape the events of the Third Age, serving as a constant reminder of the importance of choosing wisdom and humility over ambition and the relentless pursuit of immortality. It is a tale worth exploring in depth, offering profound insight into the themes and complexities that make Tolkien's world so enduringly captivating. And so I've now covered the content for this video, but if there's anything that has been missed, please share them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this content, please remember to like the like and subscribe waypoints down below. Nalawiga Vanadvan. Until we meet again.